It was never, ever easy. Mom prioritized time with me where she could. There were early morning carpools. There were late night paper mache projects on the kitchen table. And there were long hours that she spent just sitting in the car talking about everything and nothing that mattered to a teenage girl. And when I say sitting in the car, we weren't always driving anywhere. My mom was not the most technologically adept person. Nicholas mentioned that she was fixing copy machines, but she also broke that copy machine. Computers would literally self-destruct in her presence, and I think many of you know this. And having a working sound system in the house was ultimately a lifelong dream deferred. And I specifically remember this one time, I don't know how I did, I don't remember how or what this was, but I managed to convince a teacher that I could do a school project that was basically a close read of music from Little Shop of Horrors. And we couldn't get the CD to work in the house. And so I went out to the car that was parked in the driveway, and Mom climbed in with me, and the two of us just sat there and we listened and talked about, what a great show this was, and we were singing along, and that was what Mom did on like her one night off a week, so it was probably a Monday. And one of the great things about being the daughter of my mom was that from a very young age, I was often her date to opening night parties. I loved everything about those nights. I loved dressing up. I loved the sense of occasion and expectation that filled the theater. I loved watching my mom work the room. And afterwards, I loved that inevitably the waitstaff would be literally sweeping the floor behind us as we walked to the door. And we would embark on these long philosophical conversations on the way home, which would usually result in us again sitting in the car in the driveway for an hour or two before finally heading into the kitchen to continue the conversation over mugs of hot chocolate. Driving home from one of these parties my junior year, my mom abruptly said, I think I'm done. She explained that as a parent, her job was to make herself obsolete. And in watching me that night, she realized that, and I quote, if I were to die tomorrow, I'm not saying it wouldn't be hard, but you'd be okay. You don't really need me anymore. And I remember my initial impulse was to flat out deny what she said. My mom dying would never be okay. I would always need her. But the more I thought about it, the more I felt another emotion, and that was pride. You've been hearing that, my mom had exacting standards. She never said something was good when it was not. And for her to say that I was, for all intents and purposes, an adult and one to be proud of, that was a big deal. And I came back to that conversation early last year as I struggled to make peace with the reality of her disease. And in facing that, I asked myself a selfish question. If my mom doesn't have long yet left, what do I need from her? And there was a long list of things that I wanted to do with her. They included, we'd like to produce a show together someday. We wanted to do dual solo swims across Gibraltar. I wanted to take my son to his first musical with my mom. But needed? No. Mom's job was done. And in exchange, my job was to love and support her however she needed, for as long as she needed. And it has been my pride to do that. Being her daughter, this strong, multi-talented woman whose passions, influenced me. I swim, I work in the arts. I do sometimes look at my life and I go, what would I have been if it weren't for her passion? I mean, I'm living the imprint of her life again. And I love it. But I do have to wonder what I would have been if my mom had different passions or were just a little less charismatic. And she set impossibly high standards. And because I work in those fields and I swim those swims, I understand not just how high those standards are, but how hard she works to achieve them. And 6 weeks in, the hardest, it just blows my mind that she was my mom, that she made the time, that she was such an involved, engaged mom, when it is by far the hardest thing I have done. And this is where the notes ran out because the baby was cranky this week. But I am just so grateful for her. It still blows my mind that, I look at these pictures and she's so filled with life that I can't believe she's not here. And I just hope every day, that was the other thing. People have been saying to me all month, oh my God, you became a mother and you lost your mother in the same week. how are you standing? How are you getting through this? And the fact is that every day I remember her, and every day she lives in my things that I do with Henry, because I remember these moments, or I see myself creating these same routines that I so loved and found so comforting with my mom. And every day I honor that memory. And I'm just very grateful for her. We're going to do a slideshow next, or are we going to the song?
No slideshow.
Okay.
Nicely done. Yeah.
Say briefly the song that's at the end of this, and we are going to go to lunch after that, yay lunch. But the song, if Spark of Creation was the opening song of the Dianna Shuster musical, this other song would be the appropriate closing song.